G'day everybody, welcome to part 13 of the 3Racing Sakura Ultimate Build series. What we will be doing in this part is installing the ESC and soldering the motor wires to the motor. Now, what I've done off camera is I've installed the receiver. So if I'll just bring it up there, you can see that's the receiver there. It's quite easy to install. All you have to do, obviously there's included double-sided tape. Just stick it on there. There's the little mount there for the aerial. Just thread it through, screw it in, and then put the antenna tube on. Really, it's as easy as stealing candy from a baby. Although, having said that, I've tried and failed. So, anyway, so that's an easy thing to do. All I've done then is just hook up the servo wire to the receiver. So for this part, what we need obviously is our electronic speed controller, and we will also need solder or solder if you're American. We'll also need a soldering iron. Also, what helps is I have one of these. What it is, it's like a brass wool. What it's for is to clean the tip of your iron. Now, with if you're using a brand new motor, for the first time you'll need to do what's called tinning. There's another term for it, but I've always known it as tinning, and what that is putting solder onto the tabs of the motor. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to zoom in and we will go from there. Okay, so here we have our motor. We have three tabs, A, B and C. So as you can see, this is not a brand new motor. This is a motor I've used before, but on top here these will come clean. There'll be no solder at all. So basically what you would do is you would get some flux, which is this stuff here. And what I also do is I like to scratch the top of the tabs, and then I will put some flux on top. And the flux, what it does is it cleans any dirt from any like dirt of any kind from the motor tabs, which makes it easier for the solder to adhere to the tabs. Now, so what we'll do now is I have my soldering iron on, and we're just waiting for it to heat up. So when you're installing your ESC, before you stick it down, just make sure you got it where you want it, for the fact that you got to make sure that your wires can reach the motor. In this case, it's not bad because I've got real long wires. I'm not going to cut the wires because I may later on down the track want to use a different speed controller, or might want to use this speed controller in a different model. So by not cutting the wires, it saves me having to resolder wires to the tabs here on the Speedy. So first, what you want to do is look where you want to position your ESC. Is everything going to reach? So I've already pre-done this. There's some double-sided tape underneath, so that's where I want it. So now what I'll do is I'll take off the bit of papery stuff, and I will carefully put the ESC in right about there, and just push down firmly. Alright, so that's what we want to do. So now my soldering iron should be heated up enough, yes. Alright, so what we'll do is with a bit of solder, a bit of fresh solder will help melt the tabs. Be very careful when you do this, because you don't want to melt the wires. Alright, so on your Speedy and on your motor, as you can see here, you can't really see it on the Speedy, but it says there A, B and C. So on your Speedy, look to which one is A and which one is B and C and so forth. So I'm going to connect the wires up this way, just so we can see it. So very carefully heat it up like that. Let it cool for a few seconds. Check it. Yep, alright. So same again. Bit of fresh solder just to heat it up. Just let it melt. Give it time because you want the solder on the wire to melt as well. And I have a text message. Alright. Once more. So while leaving that on, make sure it's nice and hot. Alright. So there it is, folks. I mean, if I just tilt the camera a little bit, you can see that the wires are really long, but you know, that doesn't matter. Oh, sorry. So as you can see there, folks, they're all connected, and that's a neat soldering job. So I'll just zoom out a little bit. So that's the wires are soldered. Now for the last part, what we have to do now is hook up the sensor wire. Make sure you have it round the right way. And we press it into the motor. And there it is, folks. It's ready to run. So obviously we have to connect the wire to the lead wire to the receiver, but do that off camera. So that's how you install and solder the wires. So we'll stay tuned for the next part, where we're pretty much getting into the last bit of final assembly. So the final assembly, really, it's just installing the bumper and the body posts, and yeah, so stay tuned, folks.